Drop a link in the Discord as usual. Alrighty, let's do a chase. Let's get set up. I think we could test the overpass destruction quickly in the sandbox mode and then go to career mode. So it's just the overpass, so it's this one. So let's put it towards the bottom left, because that is where the destruction's been added. We'll hit this up to max, this up to max, max, max. Next step. Keep hunts on. We'll set the delay between 0 and 2 minutes. Set this to ultra and this to ultra. This is just going to be a quick test just to see how the destruction physics work. So this map is fractured. That's just because if you don't place tiles, it just fills it in with a blank tile. Literally just want to test these overpasses here. See how the destruction works, if the destruction works. Now, so once we've done that quick test, then we can jump into career mode. The wall cloud is right on top of us. Right, there's the overpass loaded in there. We don't want to be too far away from the overpass, because what we want to do is see the destruction, see it get broken apart, and just check that it behaves as you'd expect. So there's a little kind of bump in the road there. It's just because to use easy roads, sometimes you have to lift the road up a bit so it doesn't intersect the terrain. Oh, tornado just appeared from nothing there. Spinning like an absolute unit. Look at that. Well, that's getting wide really quick. Look at that. Don't know why it's only showing us 0.3 of a mile. It is much wider than that. I think it's because it's tapered quite a bit, so the base is 3.3 of a mile, but it looks much wider than that. I wonder if there's something wrong with the calculation. Right, let's try and drive north. Want to keep those tiles loaded. So no, that's got to be close to the max size of a tornado. I think it's a miscalculation because of how the tapering calculation works. Okay, perfect. It's coming towards us. I just want to see if the overpass actually does break apart. That's a shame, it kind of all just disappeared instantly. Got a lot of flashy lights as well. Yeah, something isn't right there. Oh, so we can see the pieces that got broken up. For some reason they just got absolutely catapulted. Oh, you can just see like a circle of light in the eye of the tornado. It's like completely black inside. So I don't know what all those flashy lights are. I don't know if I try and do a bit of live bug fixing. Okay, it stopped hunting, so we're gonna get. So you can see where. One, why is it turned into like a nuclear bomb? Is it something to do with the light? So there, those bits have dropped on the ground as they should. The other bits kind of just disappeared completely. Those are supposed to weigh as well, somewhere between 500 kilos and 1,000. Oh, do you know what I think's happening? They've got a random lifespan. Ah, I think I know exactly what's happening with why they're deleting. This should be that bit should be an easy fix. Why we're getting all this shiny stuff? I can't figure that out. But that's a bit of a, I don't know, photosensitive epilepsy hazard. I don't want that in my game. So I think let's go back to the editor, do a little bit of debugging. So the first problem, I like the background. Just Windows chooses random ones for me, but I really like that. So the first one is that for every destructible object, it has a random lifetime. It also has a random delay of how long it'll wait before it starts to move. So like once the wind speed gets strong enough, it says, okay, you can get shattered now, but you're going to have to wait like 20 seconds. But at the same time it's activated, it also says your lifespan's going to be this long. So so Unity is loading. Um, so if it says, okay, this object's going to get deleted in 10 seconds, but you're going to have to wait 20 seconds before you move, then it is going to create what we saw where it just suddenly disappears. But I'll put it above there so we can see the hedgehog. So I'm just going to grab a drink here. Right, so the first problem is easy to fix. So let's go to the overpass prefab. Right. This isn't right. Oh yeah, it is. Right. Um, right. So each of these should have attached to it a tornado destructible component. Then look, clean up idle seconds before destroy. Oh, one thing that could happen as well, it could shatter, but it stays idle as well. Idle velocity threshold. I think we give this idle movement threshold. I think we bump this up a bit because what's probably happening is it's being activated, but the pieces are so heavy. So yeah, maybe make these a little bit lighter. Let's say between 100 and 200 kilos. I know it's not realistic, but we're kind of just going for cool. Then we've got min lifetime seconds is 20, max lifetime seconds is 60. I know that should be enough then, because the activation, the randomized activation, I can't remember what I set that to, uh, but it's less than that. So what I think was happening was they were too heavy to move. They were activated, they just weren't moving because they were so heavy. And after that, they were just being idle for 6 seconds, then they were deleting. So I think that's what was going wrong there. Why they're really shiny, that's a different thing. Let me just find which chunk's closest to me. Ah, So it's probably the inside here. So which element is that actually on? So it's something attached to here. Um, your base map, is that this bit here that's all white? Okay, let's just make it darker then, anyway, so it looks right. Alright, so what I'll do is I'm going to copy that grey. Alright, we're going to go back, undo, because I just realized I moved it, and now I don't have a way of putting it back. Right, so for all of these... Oh, wait! Well, the material's for all instances, isn't it? So it shouldn't really matter. Let's paste. That should have taken care of both. Then I don't think I need to do anything for the 90-degree rotated one, because it'll be the same material. Yeah. Okay, cool. That just takes care of everything. So yeah, I think the issue was it was just one thing that I wouldn't have taken care of though is the movement threshold. So let's just sort that. Then we can do another build and give it another go. Right. So we've got all those components selected. Where's the destructible? Right. So we'll say again 100 to 200 kilograms. Then they have to move at least 1 meter per second and have to have moved a meter before they can start to get activated. Alright, that should be a bit better. Let's do another build. That should at least take care of the risk of triggering seizures in people with no warning. Hello, Tombert. I don't know if you've just joined or not, but in case anybody who's just joined and didn't see, I'm testing the overpass destruction. But when I was testing it, it broke up into like 15 pieces like it should. But for some reason, it was reflecting light really strongly. It was just these random flashes of light, just really rapid on and off all over the screen. So don't want that in the game. Uh, so just trying to fix that. Also, when the bridge got hit by the tornado, it would just disappear after a few seconds. I thought it was because it was being destroyed before it had been activated, but what it actually was it was being activated but not moving very far because it was so heavy. And then because it hadn't moved, after 6 seconds, it's just getting deleted. So I think hopefully I fixed it. So let's test it again. Made with Unity. I think I can actually, even though I've got the free version of Unity, I think I can still customize that. So go sandbox mode, we'll just drop the map down to 10 kilometers. I'll go down to the bottom left corner. We'll get the overpass tile. And we'll just do this. So it gives us a nice long stretch that the tornado is almost guaranteed to hit. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Right, one thing I realized, I didn't add a reset button. So even if I go back and do that, what I can do is do that, and then it should go back up to 10 kilometers. Yeah, I need to remember to add a clear button to that so you don't have to exit out of the game. Right, I can do it again. So I need to click add random tiles, not generate. I need to add a clear map button, and these can all be the same size and distributed evenly along there. Right, add random tiles. I should do. Just bang everything up to max. Boom, 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 boom. Make the formation speed ultra. Let's say hunt delay between 1 and 3 minutes, let's say, so I don't have to wait that long for the hunt. But also don't want it to hunt every couple of minutes either. Right, how close are we to the overpass? Just there, just to our east. So, let's get some headlights on. Here comes the rain. I do need to make use of that sound effects pack. About 300 high quality sounds. I still haven't added any of them to the game yet. Like high quality weather sounds. So it's got like hail on roof, hail impacting the ground, different types of wind, different types of thunder. Right, wall clouds forming over us again. Hopefully we have a better effects this time. Wall clouds spinning like a top. I actually think we need to be on the other side of it, because if it decides to hunt, we want the overpass to be between us and the tornado, so that we can actually see the overpass get hit. Also, I feel bad, Jeff Favagno had sent me a message back at the end of April. I'd sent him a message and he messaged me back at the end of April, and I just somehow missed the notification. My phone usually gives me push notifications if I get any direct messages off Discord. I don't know if it's because I have the phone, I've got a special like do not disturb mode for work, which kind of suppresses notifications, so I don't know if it got hidden with, because once I deactivate I've got tons of push notifications. I don't know if it got hidden there, or if for whatever reason the Discord is actually misconfigured and I didn't receive his message. See, is this breaking apart? I've just realised I don't have a concrete smashing sound effect added to either, so it's just going to be kind of silent. Oh, still getting flashes of light. Oh, well, that overpass is breaking apart. Okay, that one looks better than it was before. Oh, the wind's got me. How wide's this one? 0.8 of a mile. Yeah, that seems about right. Still getting those flashes of light though, and I don't know what's causing it. So I need to get a screenshot of this. Right. Need to set it to window. Click that. There. That looks so legit. I do want to know what's causing these bright flashes though. The only thing that's changed is the overpasses. What is that? I don't even know what that's from. I didn't even add that to the game. It's like a tire or something. I didn't even add that. What? I don't recall at any point adding like a donut or a tire to the game. I just realised, is the wind still carrying us? Oh yeah, we're getting 150 mile an hour winds, and we're still pretty far from the tornado. Say tornado rave. Yeah, I don't know what's caused that. Oh, I just thought I didn't. So I changed the colouring on the. So it's better than it was before. I didn't do it for the road. I think I know what it is. Right, let's do a bit more live editing. So overpass. So I changed the material on this. I didn't change the material on this. Ah, but no, there's nothing on there. What's causing all the flickering? The other options are run it in the editor, so then I can pause it and then use the camera to figure out what's causing. Yeah, let's test it in the editor. I think the feedback loop will be a bit faster. Also, did I? No, okay. Let's test it in the editor. It'll be a little bit slower than the full build. Right, add a bunch of overpass pieces. I learned this trick off Neon. When you want something specific, just make a custom map with it. Makes testing much easier. Like when I had a trailer parks, you just made like a grid of trailer parks just to guarantee one gets hit. Pretty genius thinking. My point of view. Say 1 to 3 minutes. Ultra, ultra. I'll try and make it a bit bigger for the stream. One thing I want to fix as well, see I'm trying to move my mouse quickly and it's just bouncing like that. I want to get that fixed. I wonder if the tyre somehow came off the tractor. I just don't recall ever separating the mesh to the point that individual tyres could go flying out. It didn't look like any of those. It's strange when you see something added to the game that you didn't add yourself. Yeah, there's the wall cloud. Oh, this is going to be a huge tornado. One thing that doesn't break apart though are the overpasses over fields. It's just the overpass over a road tile. Just because that's all I had time for before the stream. But it will also create that effect of, as you would expect the entire length of a multi-mile long overpass to collapse. Let's see, actually is it even anything to do with overpasses, or is it something else? Overpass is the only thing which has changed. Let me back up a bit because it's probably going to hunt pretty soon. Yeah, I think there's a trailer park getting hit there. Where is it move? Oh yeah, definitely a trailer park. Well, is that not even half a mile that, and that's already really intimidating. Also, surprisingly, so there was, I showed on the last stream, there was that weird glitch on one of the intersections. There was like a flashing triangle on it. I asked Codex just to fix it. It could actually read the mesh data and fix it itself. Like no 3D modeling software, anything needed. It literally looked at it triangle by triangle. It's like, this triangle's flipped and facing the wrong way. Let me fix that for you, and it did it. So you wouldn't think to use Codex, which is like a programming language editor, to edit 3D objects. Well, it should be ready to hunt pretty soon. Just want to go on the other side to get a good view of all this debris. Look at that. I really like how that looks. That reminds me of the Twister F5. Alright. Let's watch the bridge collapse and then figure out what's causing these big bright flashes on the screen. Or it might be something like the metallic power or the ambient occlusion. I need to figure out what material it's happening on first. Come on, I want to watch the overpass get destroyed. I set the wind speed limit right up there, so it has to be between like 180 and 220 miles an hour for it to actually break apart. It looks like it just kind of disappeared from up there. Oh no, it's falling apart. I don't know why someone disappeared. Right. Pause, quick pause. Right. Let's go to where the truck is. Right, there. What is that? Can I click it? Is it that? What is it? What have I selected? Oh yeah, it is the road. Look at that. It like reflects light to like a ridiculous amount. What's causing that? Smoothness power? Is it that? Is it that? No, it's not the smoothness power. Ambient occlusion power? No. It's to do with the color. Actually, I wonder if any of this is actually getting updated. Let me just step. Uh, Put smoothness power down to 0. No, it's nothing to do with that. See, does the parent have any material assigned to it? Maybe it's the bridge's material then. Actually, one way to find out, I can deactivate just that bit. Yeah, it's something to do with the road. That is bizarre. Metallic power, smoothness power. Advanced options. This is a normal map. Oh, normal map scale might have something to do with that. Maybe. No. Ambient occlusion. Do any of these settings actually even have any effect? Like, kind of. Oh yeah. Okay. So we would see. What about this receive shadows? No, nothing to do with that. What on earth? This is really bizarre. Z fighting? No, nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. That metallic. Ah, 1 second. What happens if I remove this smoothness map? No, wasn't to do with that. What if I remove this? No, nothing to do with that. What if I remove the normal map? Nothing to do with that either. Unless it's something specifically to do with that shader. Primary road material. Global illumination, none. Doesn't make any difference. Unless I change the material. Easy roads 3D. ER road transparent. No, it doesn't like that. Why is that doing that? Actually, let's pick it. Is it definitely the road? Right, what I'll do is I'll separate it out. Yeah, what? Oh, that's a good point. I think it still happens even if they're off. Um, I'll do is I'll unpause it, turn the headlights off, and then we've still got that selected in the edit. Yeah, no, even though I've turned it off, it's like it's acting really reflective. Light probes off? No, nothing to do with that. If I change the material, does that? So if I go nature manufacture, URP, road, is it lit? Or nature manufacture shaders, road, Standard metallic road transparent. Okay, it doesn't like that either. Color, is the alpha the smoothness? Sometimes they do that. I feel like I'm getting a headache just looking at it, even though I know my screen can't actually physically output something that's brighter. It does actually feel like it's hurting my eyes. Can I make it darker? Yeah, making it darker doesn't. So smoothness, so yeah, we can see it's having an effect. Metallic power doesn't really have any effect. What material? Right. If in doubt, let's ask Chat GPT. Why is this object emitting slash reflecting so much light? Take a screenshot. See what ChatGPT. It's probably not emitting light. It's supposed to reflect and overexposing because the raw material is effectively too bright. Albedo color is almost pure white. Another material albedo color I have. I do have bloom enabled. I do have bloom enabled, but it works fine on everything else. I think I can turn post processing off. If I just, oh look, maybe I do just have bloom turned up too much. Um, Alright, there should be a global volume. Oh, apologies for that. Bloom, so we've got threshold and intensity and scatter. Maybe it was this. Maybe the threshold's too low, or the threshold's too high. Maybe the intensity's too high. So it's 0.1, 0.05. Does it need to scatter? Oh, it actually makes it worse. So it's 0.6, that's half it. It says 0.3. Well, let's keep the scatter amount the same, and let's just get that intensity down. 0.01? 0.001? Oh wait, what's all this on the... It's something on the very edge of it emitting the light. I almost think... Right, let's just set this back because the post-processing settings were fine as they were. Um, let's delete that. And then set these all down to 0. I think we need to change the shader. What do the regular roads use as their shader? Nature manufacture shaders, URP road material. Okay, let's use that then. Alright, so let's do that. Let's call it URP road material. I think it fixed it for one of them. Let's see, can I isolate a piece? Oops, don't start drawing on the terrain, please. Right. This gives us a lot more controls to adjust it with. Main road brightness. Okay, it's not that. Smoothness power, let's bring that down. Second road smoothness power. Yeah, to be fair, that's not even rendering properly. Um, I could just put it back to what it was. Easy roads 3D. Your road. Even if I turn off post-processing, it still looked like it had some really bright stuff on the very edge. Yeah, look how things don't look great without any post-processing. We need to have that enabled. Right, maybe I do just change the bloom setting then. It just doesn't seem like it's directly fixing the problem. Seems to be a bit of a workaround. Let's global volume. If I disable bloom, does bloom really add that much to the game? Right, let's unpause it. Let's see, does it... Let's add bloom. Other than the nuclear bright bridges, does it actually add anything meaningful in terms of the visuals? I think it does. I think maybe we just keep the bloom disabled. Okay, maybe that's the answer then. We'll just keep the bloom disabled. So we need to go to the main gameplay scene, global volume. I think it actually does it. Yeah, it saves your settings. Um, okay, we'll do a rebuild. We'll go career mode now because we know the overpass destruction works. Oh no! Before we do that, let's use a different AI for the next thing. So we're going to go in here, drop into WSL. Fire up codecs. And let's just give it the specific name of the script, vehicle camera controller. The vehicle camera controller. I'll put that one word so it knows it's the name of the script. Script has a vehicle orbit camera. However, when I move the mouse too quickly, um, the camera can bounce and move in the opposite direction if it passes 180 degrees of rotation too quickly. Please make sure it scales with mouse speed and doesn't bounce, jitter, etc. So it's using quaternions, if I'm pronouncing that right. Um, all I know is that they're really complicated. And from experience, every time I've tried to use one of those instead of just Euler angles, um, things just never work as expected. It's called vehicle camera controller. Yeah, it's found the right one. Quaternion slurp. So lerp is your linear interpolation. Is that smooth lerp or something like that, where it adds some smoothing on each end? Never turn bloom on unless you're playing something with ray trace and just personal preference. Yeah, it's probably a decent rule of thumb, to be honest. I think bloom was just ruining the look in the game rather than actually contributing to it. Updated to no longer smooth spice them directly to a wrapped outer target. The fix keeps separate. Okay, well, if I go into here, it should recompile the script, and I think we'll just build and give it another go. I'm probably not gonna have time for career mode now tonight. This is just gonna have to be a shorter stream, I guess more of a dev and testing stream than a gameplay stream. But let's just get a good preview on the stream of what the overpass destruction looks like. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, I feel like it may not be as engaging as gameplay, but if people enjoy seeing behind the scenes, I'll try and do it a bit more often. Okay, just waiting for it to load. I think we'll just do the same thing. Go into sandbox, create some overpasses, fill in the rest of the tiles, set everything to max, and then just see what happens. Some of these remain blank because I haven't created a tile which is like fits half a town, a motorway on one side, paved road on one side, and a dirt road on the other. What the generate map does, it uses a recursive solver. So it'll try and place tiles, and if it gets to a point like this where it's stuck, it'll roll back its changes and choose different tiles until it gets a map which has every tile filled in. Ultra, manhunt delay. Say 1 to 2 minutes. I don't have a whole lot of time left to stream. Let's put the lights on. Yeah, I don't think Bloom was making any difference to the game. I turn reflectivity off. Yeah, so we'll get. Oh, that's a nice look. Tons of overpasses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 stretches to test. And there's a town right next to it, so we'll see plenty of destruction in this one. But we know they're going to get hit. We might as well do them the decency of warning them, even if they are just virtual. Well, to be fair, they're probably not going to get hit. Just notice the wall clouds over there. Actually, I had hail in real life today. I was eating lunch in my car, and then the hail hit, and I could see it was decent sized. I'd say larger than BB sized hail, not as large as P sized hail though. Another stretch. We've got 3 bits of overpass here. Now I just need to figure out what's causing those holes there. I think it's where it's meant to be tiled, so there's no pillar on the very last segment, because the assumption is it's going to be tiled, and the other tile will have a pillar, but because it's kind of going end to end, you just end up with a gap. Right, let's not get too close. I think as well, I should just be on foot, that way I don't have to worry about getting pushed around everywhere. Alright. It's gonna touch down soon. Let's watch the velocity. Yeah, it's intensifying. We'll see the funnel soon. And since I've got it set to ultra, it'll take like 2 seconds, if even that, for the tornado to fully form. There we go. Oh, we're going to get more of a drill bit with this one. Doesn't seem to be widening much. Getting some injuries in this town with these F1, F2 strength winds. I have to be ready for it to hunt though. I said it would between 1 and 2 minutes, 1 and 3 minutes. Power flash there. So any second now it's going to decide to hunt. Right, there we go. So let's drive, but then if we go on foot, we can watch the overpass get destroyed. Oops, didn't mean to press that. I don't get too far past the overpass. Look at those subvotes. It's got 4, I think. Just drive a little ways up. Oh, another power flash. A bridge should hopefully break apart pretty soon. Oh, I think... Right, let's get out the truck, get out the truck. I don't know if I can. I don't think the wind's actually strong enough for the bridge to break apart just yet. I don't know, it started to there, yeah. I don't know, it still seems to go from being there to suddenly disappearing. That bit's getting lifted. as is that. Yeah, maybe I'm going to investigate that a bit more. The destruction still seems to be a little bit buggy. Then the rest of that's kind of disappeared. I'm going to try and break out of the wind field. Drive against the wind. I just want to drive over here and see if I can see anything obviously wrong with the model. Because yeah, it's going to actually just naturally go over a bunch of overpasses and through a bunch of trailer parks as well. Oh, it's hunting again. Alright, those chunks are getting ripped out. Yeah, I've got no chance now. This will really test the debris engine. It's like a moment from Final Destination. You get flung by a tornado, but it's going to be this turbine which ends up killing us. Oh, got lucky. There's a barn. Alright, let's see. Actually, this might give us a good view of what's happening with the overpass and what's going wrong. Let's just reset and hopefully the wind stops bothering us. Because it looks to me, to my eye, that it's not the overpass is dropping down, it's just suddenly disappearing. Right. How wide is this tornado? 0.4 per mile. Oh, I thought it was smaller than that. I said it was a quarter. See, there's a chunk of road. It's getting flung, it just they seem to disappear. I mean, it'd be something I investigate in the end, but there, see one segment getting thrown after another. Alright, let's try and reset. I want to try and get a good view of the overpass here. There we go, we're wedged under, perfect. You can see what happens now. Does it just disappear? Or does it drop down, disappear? Let's keep watching. There, look, it just disappears. Look, it's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's San Fran through the air. Yep. In the twister truck. Right, let's watch this one. I think it does actually drop. It's not disappearing, it is dropping towards the ground. Look, it does drop towards the ground. But then it falls through the ground. It drops quite quickly, and then falls through the ground. Oh, does it? Okay, let's test this in the editor. So I've still got the editor open. And then I will, once we've figured it out, I can probably do the stream for another 5 minutes. Oh, we need to test the mouse bouncing issue as well, see if I can just rotate the camera freely. Right, so we'll go sandbox. 10 and 9 kilometers will be fine. Get some overpasses, stick them all in the bottom left. Having them side by side as well seemed to really help. Okay, this should give us plenty of points to test it at. Right, go bang, bang, boom, boom. I think we don't need hunts as much. I think we can just control where the tornado is using the XY sliders in the editor. One thing I'm trying to do as well is swap out the... Let's try to swap out the static model for the damaged model. And see if we can observe any bugs before the tornado even hits it. Alright, so we'll move this way. Right, so this is the thing, but this is the optimized one. This is the one you'll drive over. Let's say we've got bridge chunks. So we'll disable this one and enable this one. Ah, look at that. They're not even visible. The mesh render is disabled. Why is the mesh render disabled? Oh, I know why. Because the scatterer disables it by default. Right. This is a question for codecs again. So new session, new context. In the scatter, is it scatter settings? What's it called? Right. Overpass. Just go in there and it's on here. In the scatter prefab settings script, it's supposed to switch the... Actually, wait, no, the mesh renderer is not disabled by default, so that's something the script is doing. It's supposed to switch the, what's it called? What's the field name? The optimized inactive model for the shattered visual root, i.e. disable shattered version. However, with the overpass prefab, I see bridge chunks get activated, but for some reason all of the mesh renderers are inactive, so suddenly the overpass kind of disappears, then all of a sudden chunks of overpass appear from nowhere. Right, I think that's a good enough prompt. I wonder if I accidentally left the Rayfire asset on. The Rayfire asset's not still attached somewhere, is it? No. Oh, looks like it's figured something out. The deferred destructible flow, so shattered hierarchy becomes visible immediately when the optimized proxy swaps out, while colliders and physics activation stay deferred until each chunk actually activates. Yes, that's what's supposed to happen. No, just need to try and do it. I'll trigger .NET build over here. Okay, let's do one more quick test. Hopefully end the stream with a success, and then be ready to stream proper chase with collapsing bridges tomorrow. Sandbox. Oh no, I didn't mean to generate maps. Sorry. I'm tired. I'm making mistakes here. Sandbox. 10. Right. We'll be about here. Do the thing. Add random tiles, not generate map. That should do it. Bam, 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 bam. Ultra. Don't really care about hunts because we can just move the tornado in the editor. So let's just drive to our nearest overpass and wait. Oh yeah, let's move the mouse really. No, that mouse orbiting issue isn't fixed either, actually. Look, that. Actually, I wonder how much of that is to do with my actual mouse. Why must I use move my touchpad really quick? No, it's still an issue. That'll probably have to be a problem for tomorrow though, because I do have to end the stream quite soon. Okay, it's directly overhead. What we can do actually, drive under it and I'll just stand there, because then we won't get pushed away by the tornado and I can kind of just watch. Yeah, so we've got 3 different overpasses we can test on here. Let's go full screen. And then what I can do actually, for the tornado entity, I'll put that on a separate screen, so then I can just click and drag its position on a separate screen, and I can keep this full screen. So its ground speed I can see is 18 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour. Its width intensity ratio is 0.37. Well, can I just change that? Can I override that to 1? Oh cool, yeah I can. So this will be the maximum width possible tornado in the game. Well, not necessarily, it means it's as wide as it is strong. So once it gets to the max wind speed, it will also be the maximum width. Am I seeing some oh no, I think it's the camera. I can't tell if it's the bridge that's wiggling or the camera. I think we need to start moving it this way a little bit. So I don't know, is it the X coordinate? Yeah, look, I can bring it towards us. Once you start to get up towards that 180 mile an hour speed, we should see. Right, the bridge will start to break apart now. At least in theory it should. ready to move it a little bit closer? Yeah, no, there's something else wrong now. Right. Let's go to the overpass, play a truck. It should be activated. See, the problem is it hasn't been activated. Yeah, it's not getting activated for some reason. Road objects. Oh yeah, what would activate this? There's nothing to measure the wind speed. I have to check how it works for trailers. Right, what I'll do is I'll just swap it out here so at least we can watch it for the game. No, it's still doing the exact same thing as before. I wonder if it actually compiled the changes. Because don't actually have Visual Studio open. Is he to detect now that there's some changes which he'd compiled or not? No, it's just doing the exact same thing. Okay, I think this is going to have to be something I fix off stream. Right, let me have a look at the trailer park. So we've got the scatter prefab settings. Got the optimized inactive model. Okay, so what has that got on it? Yeah, so what's it actually using to detect the wind? Let's just say still stays invisible. Also, the overpass isn't switching out when wind speed is strong enough. How does it know the wind speed when the tornado destructibles are inactive? Yeah, this may have to be an off-stream thing. I think the design's not great. Hello, Real Smurf. Yeah, sorry, about to end the stream. Just hoping to get some overpass destruction in here, but it's not working as expected. I probably shouldn't have vibe coded the destruction controller for the trailer parks. I should have just done it myself because it was a pretty easy toggle. Okay, it's a runtime proxy collider. Ah, okay. Just maybe that was the issue. Just say the mesh renderers are still. This is supposed to be configured high. Let's talk about. Oh, that's a different conversation, isn't it? Resume. It still bounces. Well, I've added motorways, overpasses, fixed a bunch of the glitches and bugs which we saw in the last stream with motorways. Um, Made the road materials a bit darker, fixed some of the visual glitches. Now I've tried to add destruction to the overpasses, but it just doesn't seem to be working. And I'm trying to fix the mouse orbit controller for the truck. I can pan around the truck in third person view, but if you move your mouse really quickly, it kind of bounces around. I'm just trying to fix that. Lip angle still takes a shorter rapid path. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just load in quickly, check the mouse control. I'll have to redo the whole physics destruction thing. Or maybe not. Maybe the placement of the proxy was wrong. I'll load one more scene and then I will have to end the stream. Got it. Okay, have a good one, Tombert. So I know this is the most exhilarating of chase streams, but I'm just trying to uh, get this ready for tomorrow for a more extended stream. Right, sandbox. Do this for the 100th time tonight. Yeah, I'm going to try and fix the destruction tomorrow, but if I can figure out what's going wrong with it tonight, I might be able to fix it in the last few minutes of the stream if I'm lucky, if it's like an obvious fix. First thing I'm going to have to do is look at. So what it does is it creates its own proxy object. So what does it? It creates a empty invisible object just to sample the wind speed, because it needs some sort of script with the wind speed attached to it, so it knows when to switch to the destructible version of it. But for whatever reason, that proxy object isn't detecting the wind speed. So let's go investigate. I'll drive over there. Main gameplay, play a truck. Alright, then we've got this. Optimize proxy runtime. How's that going to get the wind speed? So let's go back to the other conversation. Is the proxy optimized? Proxy runtime. It just has a rigid body and box collider. How does it know the tornado wind speed at its position? Also, where's the box collider? Okay, yeah, there's the box collider there. Okay, well that's decent. It's placed in the right place. Let's see what Codex has to say for itself. It's not going to be when the flow is. The proxy collider enters the tornado trigger volume. Tornado wind trigger on trigger end equals other get component in parent I destructible. Because the proxy is parented under the scatter prefab. Ah, okay, is it expecting it to be a proxy in parent? A component parent I destructible in parent. What is the parent of that? I don't think that's an I destructible. Scatter prefab settings. Is that an I destructible? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, that should trigger then. I wonder why it's not triggering. Alright, let's make it come this way. Just test it out again. Maybe there's something weird going on. We need to get the tornado entity. Need to close that. Actually, they're coming towards us. I don't need to change anything. It should just happen automatically. So we should see that get activated in the editor. It's coming right towards us. Oh yeah, it has switched over now by itself to bridge chunks. So just it has switched over itself. So maybe oh yeah, bits are starting to drop out now. Look, yeah, it is starting to collapse. It is working. I think I just didn't wait long enough before. Is this somehow floating suspended by itself or just got crushed? But... okay, so the overpass can collapse now. It is working as we wanted. Can't get on the road though. I do need to add a jump to the player. Should try and drive away. So much for that. Okay, I think we've got it working, ready for tomorrow's stream. Yeah, you can see random bits. Like, you can see it collapse. Let's put it full screen. So now we're going to have to see if I can find like a concrete grinding, splintering sound. Now we need to check, actually, now that we've changed how the logic works, do the mobile homes switch out properly now? And do they get destructible? Yeah, they do. So everything's working as... perfect. Okay, I think this is ready for a stream tomorrow. And how many frames per second am I getting, considering I'm in the editor and streaming at the same time? 36, which isn't bad. Okay, so I think we'll end it there, and I'll build it in time for tomorrow's stream. So thank everybody for watching. If you're still here, I know it's been a bit of a slower stream. Will I add Tornado Magnet? Uh, Probably. It's probably going to become part of the career mode. You figure out how you can harness your research to make tornadoes move towards you, so you can kind of turn it on and off at will. But yeah, I'm gonna have to end the stream now. Everybody have a brilliant day wherever you are in the world, and I'll do another stream hopefully earlier tomorrow night because I don't have to make any changes to the game. I just need to build it and run. So everybody have a good night, and I'll see you all again soon.